Hi, everyone, and welcome. I am your Woo Woo Queen Gina, and this is All Things Woo Woo Podcast. I want to warmly welcome you into my sacred space where I will share with you the deepest parts of my woo woo self in the world of woo woo. Now, you can be anywhere in the world, and you chose to be here with me on my very first podcast ever. And for that, I am forever grateful. What you get from spending your time with me today is everything the universe has to offer. On the other hand, I am just the messenger. Please, my woo woos, please don't shoot the messenger. All Things Woo Woo podcast will explore the world of woo woo, sharing with you all the ways in which you can use woo woo to enhance your human experience, manifesting the life you want using your intrinsic gifts and capabilities. We are powerful sentient beings, my woo-woos, with abilities far beyond our wildest imaginations. And on this podcast, you will learn ways to tap into that power, harness abundant information, knowledge, and wisdom from the divine realm of infinite possibilities. Join me, your woo woo queen, here every week for a new woo woo episode. All Things Woo Woo streams on all platforms, and you can subscribe on Patreon to get the latest information, notifications, and direct messages delivered straight to your inbox. We are about to embark on a magical journey, one you will find yourself fully immersed in once you start to understand and begin to unlock the infinite potential that resides in the world of woo woo. Now, when I refer to the term woo woo, I am talking about superconscious and mysticism, and not the cocktail. There is a cocktail drink named woo woo. However, for those of you who did end up here possibly looking for the recipe, no worries, your girl got you covered. It's made with vodka, peach schnapps, and cranberry juice. So please go and make your drink, then come back, spend a little time with me, your woo woo queen Gina, and enjoy your cocktail in the world of woo woo. So, for today's episode, we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. I want to talk about the frequency of manifestation. There are levels to understanding manifestation. There are certain keys, I call them, to manifestation. Acceptance is a key to manifestation. Visualization, along with a deep intrinsic feeling, is a key to manifestation. And lastly, gratitude is a key to manifestation. Now, I'm going to repeat that last one again for the people in the back. My woo woos, gratitude is the key to manifestation. Many people try to master woo woo. No matter how hard we try or how many books we read, some of us just are not able to have the experience of feeling deep intrinsic things and seeing those things manifest into our lives on purpose. A lot of times it's not that woo woo is not working. Woo woo is always working in the background. We're just unable to navigate its magical waters because we are in the wrong frequency. With woo woo always working in the background, it works with what it can to provide for us a physical reality. If your frequency is fear of living, meaning you are a person that mostly feels the worst about life and that everything bad is going to happen to you, woo woo will use that deep, intrinsic, organic nature of yours to create your reality. If you are a person that feels the beauty of life and everything about you is light and love, woo woo will use that deep, intrinsic, organic nature of yours to create your reality. I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything here. All you have to do is take an assessment of your own thoughts and feelings on a day-to-day basis and really determine what they are. Then take a look around your physical reality, and I promise you they will match up. Now, in doing this assessment, right, you can attempt to change some things to make it seem good to you, but you will be doing yourself a huge disservice. One, because we cannot lie to ourselves. And two, we cannot fake frequency. We feel how we feel no matter how desperately we want to feel something different. Yes, it is possible to intrinsically change how we are feeling, but the key to doing so is first acknowledging how we really feel. For example, because at this point, my woo-woos, you'll know I always have an example to give or a story to tell to drive home the point that I'm trying to make. So, for this example, you really hate your job, right? Every morning that you wake up, you have this feeling of dread that you have to go to a place that you just despise in the pit of your stomach. You don't like anything about the job but the money. However, every day, just like clockwork, you get up, give yourself a pep talk that it's going to be okay, and you routinely start your day. You pretend with yourself, you pretend with your coworkers and bosses, and you use all of your energy to do a good job. Now, it's nothing wrong with that. That's how many people in society exist today. It's called the American way. We use money as our measurement of value. You have been looking for a new job, but with no luck, so you feel stuck in a rut. More than likely, your situation will not change because you are not being honest with yourself. Being honest and being grateful are two different things in the physical world, but they work together in the world of woo woo. In the world of woo woo, you have to be honest, you have to be grateful. To start on the journey of changing your situation, instead of waking up in the morning, giving yourself a pep talk to get out the door, be honest. Say, I hate this fucking job. I hate going to it. I hate the work. I hate everything about it except the money. And I'm so looking forward to finding something that aligns more with my desires. I'm grateful for the ability to pay my bills from having a job, but something has got to change. Now, I don't know what type of pep talk you give yourself to get out of the door, but this is a good one because it includes being honest with a deep, innate feeling of gratitude as well. You are grateful that you get a check so you can pay your bills. When I tell you there is something cathartic about accepting how you really feel about your current situations and speaking the truth out loud, it's like medicine. Saying, I hate this fucking job out loud will be like therapy. Now, you may be thinking, if I say that and I feel ungrateful for the job, then I may lose it. But isn't that what you want? A different job? Woo woo knows best. We get so attached to the how that we totally lose focus of the why. There's a reason why you hate the job. And whatever that reason is, it's compromising your peace. That's just one of many examples that I can give of acknowledging and accepting your current reality. My philosophy in life is one that I've built my entire existence around, and that is you should never go where the spirit is unwilling to follow. It creates friction in your world of infinite possibilities, and we are limitless in creating possibilities in the world of woo woo. However, friction is a manifestation killer. Me personally, I will walk away from any and all things that do not resonate with my spirit and or energy because I know those things will compromise my peace, and I am unwilling to allow that to happen. I've always opted for peace in my life. So when the distractions I put in place became a hazard to the peace they brought, they were eliminated. Over the journey of my life, I've been a novice in preserving my peace. However, in the last 8 years, I've become a master. Unlike the American way, peace is my measurement of value. Now, I'm not money rich just yet. I'm working on that. But I am infinitely rich when I think of the level of peace I have in my life. As I shared with you all in the last episode, I've had a tumultuous relationship with woo woo. Initially, I tried to blame woo woo for the chaos that was happening in my life, and that is because I kept lying to myself. I became so good at faking frequency in the physical world. Woo woo was there at every turn, reminding me that the version of life I was living was an illusion, hence, why it was taking so much energy just to have a little bit of peace. In the elusive physical world I had built for myself, I was working hard to be at peace. However, all the while, I truly wasn't. Distraction is another manifestation killer. I distracted myself with all sorts of things: work, relationships, trips, personal projects, but none of those things were rooted in intrinsic desire, and so they all fell apart or never even took off. I even struggle in my relationships today with my kids because of how the relationships were rooted over 30 and 25 years ago. Woo woo is a lifelong lesson. And if we do not pay attention to the lessons it brings our way or follow the lesson plans it gives us, we find ourselves spinning our wheels, gaining no traction. I've been spinning my wheels for years, and the sad part is that I couldn't even see it. When I explore my thoughts and feelings over the years, my life is a perfect replica of the thoughts and feelings I've had. It's the trickery of the web that's been woven, which I'll discuss a little more in a moment. And you want to know something else that sounds even sadder about the revelation that I've been spinning my wheels most of my life? It just came to light this year. It's sad and hard to digest, but actually, I see it as a blessing. The blessing is that I see it. I could have easily spent the rest of my natural physical life in the dark, living in illusion. I wanted to be mad at the thought that I spent my whole life up until this point full of distraction. But in the world of woo woo, you come to understand there is no one to blame, not even me. Even after starting on my journey of awakening 8 years ago, I continued to put distraction after distraction in my life, garnering the same result each and every time: a slow burn to those things and people being non existent in my life. Now, at this point, you may be thinking, isn't that how life is? Having and embracing those monotonous experiences and making the best out of them, regardless as to if they were true desires or not? Yes, that is exactly how we exist in this physical world, and that is why the world is the way it is, full of people seeking distractions for their lives. No real desire to have the things they seek, so there is no care or concern to keep and value them, even the human life. I'm guilty, guilty, guilty. When the realization of unfulfillment sets in, the distraction is discarded and replaced with another. It's unfortunate, but yes, this is how we have accepted the way of the world to be. People have relationship after relationship needing distractions from their unfulfilled, chaotic lives. And the result of that, unwanted children whom are neglected. People also have children for all sorts of other reasons, but mainly because they think that they will bring some kind of purpose or add some type of value to their existence. And then the kids arrive in the world and they are neglected, and it's a vicious cycle. Having revolving relationships is just one example of the result of having non intrinsic distractions in our lives. There are so many others. I am definitely a product of worldly environment. I have two beautiful children, and I've told them before, one of you is my need to give love child, and the other is my need to receive love child. Neither time when I got pregnant did I have an intrinsic desire to have children because I loved kids and wanted to be a mother. I mean, I do love kids. I took care of everyone kids in the neighborhood before I had my own, but that was not the reason I chose to have one. I was 15 years old when I got pregnant with my first child. I found myself at a place in life where I was questioning everything, mainly the purpose of life and my reason for being here in this physical realm. My family was incapable of loving me the way I yearned, and all the love that I poured into them I felt was in vain. I sat with that feeling for some months before I decided a baby could be a way to eliminate some of that yearning. It seemed so clear to me that my desire to have a baby was so that I can have someone to love and know that love would mean something. Looking at it in hindsight, I now know that it was just a clever way to put a distraction in my life instead of sorting out my innate feelings of loneliness. Being my woo woo self, I quickly and expeditiously, I might add, manifested my pregnancy. Although my reasoning for wanting a child may have been a little untraditional, it was a deep intrinsic desire. So it did not surprise me when I said to my best friend, "I see you later, I'm going to get pregnant." And it happened the very same night after only one try. Thankfully, in my situation, my child was never neglected. And in fact, because of the neglect I'd experienced as a child, I was the beast in preserving and protecting her peace and keeping her from the horrors that children in this world can face sometimes. The truth can hurt, and revelations are hard, my woo woos. So I'm not blaming anyone for how they choose to find some peace in their lives. Ignorance plays a role in peace. I'm sure you have all heard the term ignorance is bliss. I'm just trying to bring light to the right way to ascertain that peace with a side of fulfillment that doesn't involve relying on anyone or anything outside of ourselves. It's tricky though, and a catch 22, really, if you think about it, because our only purpose in life is to find fulfillment, be happy, and consistently find ways to innately level up our existence. However, we have been taught to seek happiness and fulfillment in external entities, be it things and or people. We are so far gone that my empathy for humanity is boundless. My heart breaks at the notion that we have been set up in this intricate web of lies with no clear way out. Now, envision a spider web and how intricately woven it is. The web was spun for the protection of the Creator, to keep all that enter into it trapped and vulnerable. We entered the web via birth. The trickery of the web is very elusive. It makes us feel as if we have the free will, but unbeknownst to us, we are being directed and guided in the way we are to go, and those ways are very limited. There are so many theories as to who the creators of the web are that it's almost moot to give any energy into trying to figure it out. Employ your energy into figuring out how to free yourself. I'm one of the lucky ones who figured out how to free myself from the web of captivity, and I'm passing all my knowledge on to those open-minded and open-hearted enough to hear me clearly. With all of that being said, I'm going to warn that leaving the web of captivity puts you in a whole other realm that can be just as hard to navigate as being in the web. Being in the web, the captors are your benefactors, and you rely on them to govern your life. Being in the realm of woo-woo, there are no overseers. You are totally and 100% responsible for your physical existence and how you show up in the world. To some, that is a very scary thought. Coming from a way of being where there is everyone to blame to a world where no one is to blame can be daunting. Yes, in the world of woo-woo, possibilities are limitless. However, if what you see and what you get is not conducive to what you desire, it is your responsibility, sole responsibility, to fix it. Keep in mind that most of us have existed in the world of the web for a long time, practically all of our lives. Freeing ourselves and rerouting ourselves in the world of woo-woo is no easy feat. It's going to feel like starting over. And if you are a person of a certain age, it gets even more challenging when you start to unlock the intricacies of the woo-woo magic and see things unfolding in your life that totally takes your breath away. It will be occurrence after occurrence that makes you feel mortified that you've not been living your life this way the whole time. In my particular situation, I was hit with the double whammy because for me, it's not that I was clueless and oblivious to the world of woo. I just didn't understand it or want anything to do with it. So I ran from it for 40 years. Woo-woo has been present and active in my life since birth. I spoke of my first interaction with woo-woo at 4 years old, but my earliest memory is 2 years old. With those earlier experiences, the details are not clear enough to tell a full story. And if I have to be totally honest, despite my fear of being ostracized, I have deep, intricate feelings from the time of being in my mother's womb. It's how I've come to know that despite my parents being drug addicts all my life, they were amazing human beings and they loved me. I was definitely born out of love. If in your personal journey you did not encounter woo-woo until now, just know that time is a construct of the physical realm and not the world of woo-woo. As stated before, woo-woo is non-linear, so while immersed in the world of woo-woo, we can jump to any point in time to reevaluate choices we've made. It will not change the outcomes of those choices directly. It will change how those outcomes are affecting our present moment. Once immersed in the world of woo-woo, it's a delicate but simple landscape to navigate. So simple that because of prior experience of existing solely in the physical world, where we've become hardened to our delicate nature, which also complements woo-woo, it can be hard to navigate woo-woo's landscape. Do not fret. Do not give up on yourself. Woo woo takes practice. And when we start to unlock the doors to its entryways, we become innately reconnected to it where effort is no longer required to exist there. There are keys and levels to the entryways into the world of woo woo. However, the most important ones I stated at the beginning: acceptance, intrinsic feeling and desire, and gratitude. It's understanding our current frequency. And if our current frequency isn't what we want, or is a roadblock to where we want to go in the world of woo woo, the key to changing it is acceptance of it. It does not serve us to be in denial of our true feelings, no matter what they are, who, or what they're directed to. Working from an authentic frequency, we can focus on and feel deeply the ways in which we want to level up. As we work on leveling up, we must always, always, always express gratitude for where we are in the journey. Not gratitude simply because it's necessary, but gratitude because we feel it. Woo woo is all about feeling and frequency. We cannot fake anything in the world of woo woo. Our frequency is how we really feel. It's the aura that we transmit to and throughout the universe at any given moment. We have an organic, innate frequency, and we have an elevated frequency. Our organic, innate frequency is who we are in our resting state of being, meaning it's who we are when we think no one is watching. It's who we are when we are sleeping or first waking up in the morning. It's who we are intrinsically. Many people are not in tune with their true authentic frequency, and that's why their lives seem in such chaos. People are walking around transmitting one signal while their illusion is transmitting another. And the overall frequency equates to static or no signal at all because one cancels out the other when they are in total opposition. Collectively, we are accustomed to just switching the station when what we receive through the transmitter is static or dead silence. So many of us feel unseen or unheard, and that's because we are existing in such a low frequency and vibration that it makes no impact on the universe. The danger in that is that no one wants to feel invisible. So we start to find ways to be seen and be heard. Imagine millions of people shouting at the same time. Chaos. People become desperate and or depressed when they feel they are not seen or heard, and then they do unthinkable things. And then the climate of social media, that can equate to almost anything. You can turn your frequency up at this very moment. All you have to do is be honest about how you're feeling and accept your current emotions, no matter what they are. Next, you would need to sincerely and passionately think about how you want to feel and what is necessary in order for you to feel that way. Express gratitude that you are even able to understand your emotions. Be honest with yourself and have an innate desire to want to raise your vibration. Be grateful that you are coming to learn woo woo and all its magical powers. That's it. That's all there is to it. Changing your frequency to manifest the life that you desire. Well, that's it. That's the key to manifestation. I make it sound so simple, but it takes work, it takes practice, it takes honesty, and it takes commitment. Remember, my woo-woos, that we are all perfectly imperfect. Changing those intrinsic parts of ourselves is not easy, even, again, if I make it sound easy. It can be easy though, because woo woo works its magic in an instant. It is us who get in the way of allowing woo woo to do what it do. Even myself, I understand the principles and the ways in which to get results manifest in my life through woo woo, but I still struggle each and every day putting those principles into practice. Why? Because I am perfectly imperfect. I've been living how I have been living for most of my life, and to just stop living that way at times, a lot of times, is difficult. We are creatures of habit, and we are lazy. Woo-woo takes a lot of mental focus and structure, and for a myriad of reasons, we just give into the autopilot way of being. Why? Because of ego, which I will discuss in the upcoming episode. However, our ego's sole purpose is to keep us operating in the manner to which we are accustomed. Why, again? Because it knows that our practices and ways thus far have kept us alive all the way up until this point. So it doesn't support trying and doing new stuff. Practicing woo woo is like going to the gym. We want the results, but the workout, not so much. We have to push ourselves to go, but when we get there, the workout feels oh so good. I give myself a lot of grace when my mind, body, and soul does not readily conform to new things because I understand the egoic structure. However, I've seen the magic. I've used woo woo so much that I no longer have to be convinced to give it a good workout. Woo woo is the center of my world now. I used to ask the universe for confirmation after confirmation to let me know that woo woo is real and that I'm not crazy. And at this point, I don't need any more confirmation. I know without a shadow of a doubt that woo woo works and that when I'm utilizing it in the right manner, I move mountains. My woo woos, I thank you for being here with me today. I hope this episode has resonated with you in some way or another. Your assignment from today is to do an assessment of how you're really feeling about those areas of your life that are not bringing you any peace. Or maybe you are trying to manifest something new to come into your life. Do an assessment of why you want that thing and the main obstacle keeping you from it. Sometimes the answers are not readily available. And when they are not, I can assure you that not being able to figure it out is the barrier to manifesting it. As always, I would love to hear your feedback from this assignment. And until next time, my woo woos, y'all go be magic. Woo woo.